person we're talking about right now is Sunny Hostin. The reason we're talking about Sunny Hostin because this is a woman that's on The View, and she's always talking about racism. It is always a woman that's ambiguous in nature, that damn near looks white, that's always talking about racism or pro-black. This is a woman that's been seen picture with Kamala Harris. She's an AKA, went to HBCU and talked about Donald Trump supposed to be Hitler and racist and a bigot. All of these things, this is what she said Donald Trump is supposed to be. This is what she said Donald Trump is supposed to be. But what we're going to do, we're going to watch this video right here. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section.
Wow. I'm a little bit in shock. I just always thought of myself as Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. I didn't think I was, my family was originally from Spain and slaveholders.
See that Kamala laugh that she just gave? Y'all see that weird Kamala laugh she just gave? I don't know what it is about if you're an AKA, go to an HBC, and you ambiguous when it comes to your race, you get this nervous, weird laugh, but they all do it. It's not a laughing matter. You're just gonna laugh about your family owning slaves? Is that funny now? Should we persecute you because now you're laughing and you're laughing at the pain of the slaves that your family owned? Same as Kamala, when you figure out that her father owned slaves too in Jamaica, but y'all claim that he black because y'all stupid niggas don't understand nationality.
Yeah. So how are you feeling, my friend?
I think it's actually pretty interesting that my husband and I have shared roots.
Yeah.
Your husband and you have
So
shared roots. So what does that mean? He was a slave, his family come from slave owners too? Because y'all got to understand this, and this is why studying your history is very important. I'm going to say something that maybe more so a lot of people don't think, but I don't think so many people are racist just because you're black. I don't think a lot of people are just racist like that, to be honest, white people. And the reason I say that, I think it was a way of life. And the reason that I say slavery was a way of life is because niggas enslaved niggas in Africa and sold your black ass to the transatlantic slave trade that was funded by Jewish people. But even in America, when a black man got his freedom, or if he was mixed, he could own slaves as well in America. There are plenty of stories throughout history where there were black men who got freed, end up making an invention, or their fathers left them land and they owned slaves. Now, personally, I don't believe interracial people are black or white. I believe they are interracial. And I think it's a slap in the face to just pick sides when you come from two different people and two different cultures and two different backgrounds. And just you to be just saying you black, I think it's a slap in the face to the other parent that raised you.
I do appreciate that. And I think it's great for our children to know this information. I guess it's a fact of life that.
Oh, now it's a fact of life. Now it's just a fact of life, or the way it just happens. But you get on The View every day, and so much so that she even had to go on The View to address it. I'm gonna see if I can find a video, but she had to go on The View and address her lineage of slave owners.
This is how some people made their living, on the backs of others. Why?
And you still doing it. You're still doing it. When you get on The View and you lie and say, hey, I X, Y, and Z, you talking about people, you making lies up and stuff like that, so much so that they have to make y'all read legal notes on The View. They make y'all read legal notes on The View. Because y'all say so much of the most outlandish shit ever. So let me show y'all this video right here. So let's talk about this. Since we want to always criticize other people.
We're starting a little differently this morning. Sunny, you were just on an episode of Finding Your Roots with Henry Louis Gates Jr.
Was.
Yeah.
And he gave me some surprising revelations about my family history. You know, I was really reluctant. I don't know how you felt when you did it, Whoopi, but I was really reluctant to do it because I just sensed that there could be something in my family history that would be disappointing.
Negative.
Negative. Yes, I thought I was going to have that kind of moment. And Skip had asked me to do it for a long time. And I finally decided to do it because I thought it'd be helpful for my children and my children's children to know what their real history was, you know? But what I found out was that
So they could grow up to be slave drivers too. They can go and talk about people and make up lies and get on TV and build followings off the back of other people, if it's true or not. Because that's exactly what you're doing.
my mother's family, while they are Puerto Rican, they actually originate from Spain. And the reason that they moved to Puerto Rico is because the slave trade had been sort of canceled in Spain and then Curacao, and then they moved all of their slaves to Puerto Rico. And so the family business, I had been told that they were printers and journalists, but they were in fact enslavers. And my mother... So
Yeah, they was printing all right. They was tagging the slaves and they was journaling how much it cost to sell a slave. That's what they was doing.
Fell over the
it
audience.
was deeply disappointing. And it's deeply disappointing because my mother really identified as Puerto Rican. She was part of the civil rights movement.
Come on now, don't be freezing up on me. Oh man. Most white people don't even have slave owners in their ancestry. The fact that it's her is hilarious. Right. And a lot of people believe that most white people come from a background where their family owns slaves, but in reality, only they said like only 8% of white people own slaves. So much so at that point in time, a lot of the white people were slaves themselves. Now, granted, the argument and the talking point is, well, if they could afford slaves, they probably would own slaves. Well, if your black ass back there at that time too, if you could own a slave and that's the way people was making a living, especially owning picking cotton and having people work in the fields, you probably would do the same thing. Because I'm a person that believes in nepotism. The reason I'm talking about nepotism because I'm not gonna make my child do something that I ain't gotta make them do. If I can put your black ass, I don't give a fuck what race you is. If I can put your black ass out there and pick that cotton field and gotta have my son out there in that blistering heat, pricking his fingers and stuff like that, I probably would do that too. I'm just saying, we see LeBron James, garbage ass son, get skipped. Plenty of players better than him. They say he's three players away from being the worst player in the G League. This is how sorry LeBron James' son is. So when we talk about this, understand black people do these same practices and then get upset when other people do these practices that they just learned from. She is a colonizer.
They
Oh man, this junk don't want to play.
and my mother
So hush fell over the
it
audience.
was deeply disappointing. And it's deeply disappointing because my mother really identified as Puerto Rican. She was part of the civil rights movement. And she...
If y'all don't know this, Jewish people helped start the NAACP too. I went to the Civil Rights Museum in DC. You see a whole bunch of Jewish names on the walls up there, Horowitz and Steens everywhere. You see a bunch of those names all over there. But y'all got to understand, these are the people that also funded slavery as well.
She was deeply ingrained in Black culture, and identified herself as Black for race, but Hispanic for ethnicity.
Okay.
but her race is white. She's European.
Yeah.
I know. It's
Yeah.
weird because when you look at her, my mother's blonde and she has light eyes, and my whole
Now you know that damn woman ain't no black, and she don't identify as black. Come on now, you damn near white yourself. And you got to understand when people say, I just thought I was Puerto Rican. No, you're not Puerto Rican, baby. You're from Spain. Spain is some white people. Just be, you're a Spaniard. Moved to Puerto Rico to practice slavery again. That's why you had your mama blonde hair, blue eyed, or light eyed, as you said.
family looks like that. So I think inside, I sort of knew that this was my history, and that's probably why I didn't want to do it. And I spoke to my mom about it. She was deeply disappointed. She actually cried about it. And then she said, maybe that's why I have been so connected to Black culture, because it's an atonement in my spirit. And
Oh my God, bruh. When I say she spit that so well in an audience full of bitches, I mean women, she spent that amazingly well. Because I would have just said, if I was there, I'd be like, bitch, shut up. She benefited from slavery. That's probably why you are a lawyer now. That's probably why you have the position that you have now, because you probably come from a family that's more well off, better than middle class, to put you in these positions to where you could be on TV talking bullshit every day. Add the fact that you are light skinned and pretty privileged on there. But let's be real. Your mama didn't care about that. And she connected. You look in the mirror and you don't see no black. She look in the mirror and don't see no black at all.
received that. I also found out that, and there were slaves on both sides of her family, mothers and fathers, but we are 7% indigenous Puerto Rican, Taino.
Oh, now y'all clapping. They must have put the sign up on the ceiling to tell the people to clap then. Because what is 7%? What is the other 93% then? What is the other 93%? Y'all clapping for 7%. That's the same argument we use when bitches be trying to talk about abortion. Y'all be using a small percentage to justify a large percentage of something. Baby, you're a white lady. Come on now. You have a few other features that make you look a little bit more ethnic because you have just a smidge of Puerto Rican in you. Come on now. You're a white lady. Actually, she's the same as Kamala, because Kamala family owned her daddy owned slaves in Jamaica. And these two, like I said earlier, these two take pictures together. They both AKAs, they both went to HBCUs. Like I said, it's always the ambiguous ones, the one that can always pass for white in case of crisis. If someone was to pop up now, trust me, she taking all that hair out of her hair. She gonna die blonde. She gonna be close and try to be white as she can be. She gonna try to be white as she can be. That jump fighting. She's everything she hates. Like Creed's father being Sabretooth on X-Men. That's funny. But yeah, like I said, these are the people that we allow to get in front of us and speak and tell us who's bad and who's good. Who's bad and who's good? Baby, you need to check on your mama or your granddaddy. I bet you wouldn't chastise them like that the day had you pulling up in a Rolls Royce. Well, them niggas had to go to work today. I want to freeze up. Let me just exit out of that, because I don't know why it's doing that. So, like I said, y'all make sure y'all like the video. My next video, I don't know if y'all seen this, but we're finna talk about this. The next video I want to talk about is